Hello, hello, hello. It's a bright, summery day, and I'm here to speak to you about the resurrection power, resurrection life that is spoken about in the Bible by Paul. He says, if their rejection, speaking about Israel, was salvation for us who are the Gentiles are basically people who are not Israelites, Jewish. Me, I am Ugandan, and Rwandese, and yeah, just that, only those two. What was I saying? Yeah, the Gentiles, if their rejection meant life for the Gentiles, what will their acceptance be but life from the dead? So their rejection was salvation, their acceptance will be life from the dead. What does that mean? It means that what happened in Jesus' body when he was resurrected from the dead will happen to us, slowly, progressively, because I believe Israel won't be saved at once, because the time of the Gentiles comes to an end slowly. The age of Aquarius comes to an end slowly. The harvest comes to an end slowly. So the Israelites will get saved slowly. So Paul says in Romans 8, which is about it's a chapter about the sons of God, right? It says, if the spirit that raised Christ from the dead dwells in you, how will he not vitalize your mortal body? When he says vitalize, he means, what I believe he means is, Adam lived to like 900 years, Methuselah 900, Noah 900, Enoch 365, he's still alive. 365 was like 5,000, so it's like 5,365 years. All right, that's what he means by resurrection life. You don't get sick. Jesus didn't get sick. I know that's a popular message in some camps, man, and then they get sick and die, but then they're just ahead of their time. But now it's actually going to come to pass. You're going to be healthy, vital, and living to a long age throughout the years into the next age. Now, this will only happen if Israel comes in slowly. So Paul says, don't be deceived. He goes on about something, and he says, all Israel shall be saved. Now, I think, notice the emphasis on I think, all Israel will be saved after they are deceived by the man of perdition. He says in 2 Thessalonians, or 1 Thessalonians, 2nd chapter, he says that, what did he say? First, there'll be a great falling away. I believe that's the church coming into this new revival, power, demonstration, wisdom. The church will receive it and say, no, we're Pentecost and we're Passover. Some guys don't even believe in healing. Those guys are Passover. They're there. They believe in only Jesus. Come and save us. Rapture. Those guys. So Pentecost are the guys who believe in healing and, Now tabernacles. Woo! Tabernacles is just dangerous. You don't want to tabernacle. There's resurrecting people. There is supernatural wisdom. There is money. Because when they entered the land, they lived in the houses of the giants. They ate the giants' food. The giants in the land. So they had like big grapes and like big houses and like, whoa, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's awesome. Right. So so the great falling away, Pentecost. After Pentecost, remember, I can't just say remember, there was this story of Korah. There's a guy called Korah who led a rebellion against Moses. So that's the type that's going to be happening. As we're going into the promised land, they'll be going back to their Egypt, to bondage. The great falling away, but they'll still believe in Jesus, but they won't be caught up in this resurrection life. The rapture isn't going to happen like this. It's going to be gradual. Enoch wasn't caught up just in it's the rapturing faith happens continually. That's why Paul warned them in Hebrews 6 that this we will do if God permits. Because if we begin to teach on these things, some of you will be left behind. It will be a stumbling stone. Behold, I lay a stumbling stone in Zion. If you let it fall on you, it will crush you. then if you, something along those lines. It's like a stumbling stone. Every single movement of the Spirit is a stumbling stone. Passover, Pentecost, but Passover and Pentecost happen like together. That's why when the disciples watched Jesus die, Pentecost was just the next 50 days. So they happen together. It's tabernacles that's very separate. It's Passover and Pentecost that's separate. So Passover and Pentecost, they are blind to it, Israel. They're blind to Jesus being the Messiah. Okay, and the pouring out of the Spirit, which are together. But with this tabernacles, with this new Pentecost, with this full Pentecost, which will move into tabernacles, Israel will, a remnant of Israel, I believe, will come to understand and believe that Jesus is in fact the Lord. All right. Then, remnants, remember. Then the traditional religious Israel will, after the falling away of the church, of 90% of Christians who are not remnant, who Jesus said, "I'll spit you out of my mouth," because Jesus is like the ark, all right. So, which gets you to tribulation. Yeah. So, unless the falling away happens and the man of perdition be revealed, the man of sin, that's the Antichrist. And it says in Daniel that he will sit in the temple of God and call himself God, meaning he will deceive all the Jews. And then when they wake up, whoop, I believe then all the full life from the dead will be in our bodies and will be caught up. That's I believe what will happen. I believe that's what will happen. Yep, so people, that's it, people. That's it. This was very important in God's timeline. He said to Abraham, from your seed, I will bless all the nations. But Paul comes and says, he was not speaking to the natural seed, but to the spiritual. Then he says in Romans 11:29, I believe, that God's promises are without repentance. So he was speaking both to the natural and the spiritual. Natural Israel is that which is worshipping Yahweh, Adonai. But they don't know that he has a son that came 2,000 years ago. Well, they will know. So the saving of some Israelites, this I believe to happen this year, will then begin the resurrection life. And then the final resurrection life, which will be the final rapturing faith, will come maybe like 10 years later with other Israelites coming in, and the time of the Gentiles being complete with the final harvest of the Gentiles, final harvest of the Jews, boom, boom, all together, because it's like a continuum, parallel. Time of the Gentiles closes, just like a door being closed slowly, then caught up. That's it, people. Bye-bye.